Greetings, everybody. It's me, Patricia Cori, coming to you today with a financial red pill report, so stay tuned. Surprise! You asked me to write a new book, and I did. And when it ran into obstacles, you asked me to publish it anyway, and I have. And it's out. And now I'm asking you, I need you to read it. Help me send a message to the darkness that the truth will not be silenced, that the light will always prevail, and that the human race will survive no matter what they throw at us, and we shall flourish. This is 370 pages of truth as I understand it. It's a big one. Please get out and order it now. Help me send that message to Amazon too. We want this kind of information. Thanks. Looking forward to your response. Yeah, I'm no finance expert by any means, but I am in good shape on my own finances because I busted my proverbial chops the last 2 years. And I also did some very sharp trading on crypto in my small way. I'm no big finance person, but I managed to grab some crypto at the right time and sell it at the even better time. And with that money, I paid off my mortgage, did some work on the house, put in solar, and got myself completely out of debt. It's time we had a little chat about the financial situation that we're all about to face. Whatever you believe the universe has in store and that it's all under control and that you'll be taken care of, or that Nasara is going to move in, you can charge up your credit cards, not to worry about it because it's all going to be wiped away. Reality rock is setting in. And that reality is coming to us from, you don't have to be a genius to see how society is crumbling all around us, or that the shipping system is tanking deliberately, or that mysteriously food supply centers around the world are blowing up, or an airplane lands in them and catches them on fire, or all of the above, to recognize that we are in a systemic breakdown. And we all know, well, we know if you're minimally paying attention, that the next thing to go is the financial system. Add to this devastation of the economy the fact that Russia, China, and India forming alliances with a few other countries coming in to revert to the BRICS money system, which will be based on gold and which will disappear the dollar. Saudi Arabia coming in on that too. It's going to change the world. Are you paying attention? So the reason why I'm doing this little report is that I want to help as much as possible, shake you up enough to recognize that you better have a plan B besides waiting for the universe to take care of it. And you've probably heard me say this before, but the truth is it is time to grab your finances by the proverbials and figure out what you're going to do to stay out of trouble here. In the last few days, we've had Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, B of A, Citibank, all talking layoffs, talking slowdowns, etc. They're calling it the white collar recession, which I have to laugh. I guess the blue collar people got recessed before them, and nobody wants to talk about that because pretty soon, with robots taking over the blue collar jobs, they're talking about 89% of blue collar jobs will be replaced by robots. Think about that for just a minute. So you know that a huge part of the employment economy in the United States, for example, is fast food, consumerism at that level. They're talking about 89, well, where do they get 89? Let's just call it 90% of those jobs are going to be managed by robots. Where are those people going to go to work? They're already underpaid. Yeah. Now you've got at the the higher tier, the white collar banking people getting laid off left and right. Goldman Sachs, whoo ah, that's important. So even though you probably heard me scream about preparation, and I'll never stop saying it, boy, you better get your food stocks, you better get your water stocks, supplies, medical. You've heard my drill to the point that you must think, not only think, but some people actually say, I'm a fearmonger. No, I am not. I'm a power inducer. When you start getting these things handled, it's empowering. It feels really good to know that you've got a plan, some preparation, an idea, what you're going to do when things really go down. And, maybe they won't. I personally believe we're going to go into a very big depression here. We're already in the recession. Forget the figures they're telling you. They're lies. We're in a recession. The inflation is runaway. No, it's not 6.5. It's more like 25, 30% or more. Here in Portugal, some things are up 100%. Then when you consider that the volume of the food is half, you buy let's say Snickers bar, although I would never buy one because I won't eat that kind of stuff anymore. But let's say a Snickers bar, you're paying twice as much for it, but it's half the size. So that's 200%. Do your numbers. But when the banks start telling you they're laying off large quantities of employees around the world, it is time to lift an eyebrow and say, maybe Patricia Cori and the other financial advisors, which I'm not, are right, and it's time to re-examine money in the bank. Now, a lot of us don't have huge quantities of money in the bank, so money in the bank is there to pay bills and minor transactions, but the people that are sitting on a bunch of cash better come up with a plan B, because what happens tomorrow when the bank just closes? It's happening in places around the world. And what happens when you've reached the limit on your credit cards? When the bank says, gee, I'm sorry, we're not releasing any cash. Come back in a few days. Or you go back and the door's closed. This is happening. So you know the drill. If first of all, you've got to find a way to get out of debt. You've got to stop using your credit cards. Unless you're somebody that has ample funds and you want to use your credit card because it's convenient, great. Convenience is the death to creativity, in my humble opinion. So it's like convenience food versus cooking from scratch. Yeah, convenience food is easier, but it's not better. It's easier. It's faster maybe, but cooking from scratch is exquisite, delicious. You know what's in your food. And so this applies across the board. We need to keep using money versus credit cards versus plastic debit cards. We need to circulate money, cash. So consider that. Yeah, it's not as convenient, but if you want to help shore up the system at least a little bit longer, instead of just using your debit card, get some cash out of the bank and pay cash. Do you have enough cash? Do you have enough savings that you could go 6 months if you were to lose a job or you didn't have income? Could you hold up for 6 months? Because you're going to need to. You're going to need to have that kind of security. A lot of you who follow me are not into financial things. I get it. But now's the time to get smart, get savvy, investigate the reality that is unfolding here. We're going to move into a full-scale depression. That's coming. No matter what the white hats are doing, the black hats are doing, that's coming. All the financial people are warning us over and over again, and most people are not paying attention. And they're going to be caught with their panties down when this hits. So, do what you can You know, do what you can. If you're really struggling, see if you can think about the options of what it's going to take for you to be able to pay off your debt. Hopefully it's not really high. Remember that credit cards are 20% is the median interest rate on credit cards. 20%. So that means if you've got $1,000 a debt on your credit card, you're paying, hold on to your chair, $200 a year just in interest. So if you're paying the minimum on your card, you're not even paying off the interest. And that it keeps accruing. So that thing that you bought because it was on sale for $50, you end up paying $150 for. Hello. So now's the time. You've got to get out of debt. You've got to get rid of the credit cards. Cut them up if you can. Cut them up. Get the kinds of credit cards that you have to pay off every month. Because if you don't have the money for it, for what that thing you want to buy, then you shouldn't be buying it. Plain and simple. I'm worried about everyone because I can see so clearly what we're going to be going to. And I as we watch the homeless pile up on the streets and the governments of the world pushing them into drug abuse. I mean, San Francisco, you walk into the drug help center and they hand you a bag with syringes and apparently paraphernalia to melt your Coke and whatever else you're taking. They want you to be stoned and helpless, right? Anyway, most of us will never face that, hopefully never face that reality, but more and more people are being pushed out of their homes, even people that are working. I'm seeing such horrifying stories. A mother in England, 4 kids, her husband left her. She's got a little job, nice enough little house. The landlord says, you're done here, 60 days to get out. 4 kids, no housing available, nothing that she could ever afford. Where does she go? The authorities can't help her, yada, yada. The story. This woman's talking about being on the street with 4 kids. For God's sakes, man. So whatever you can do now, do it. People are getting second jobs. I can't even imagine that. Fortunately, because I'm out of debt, I'm not in this danger zone. And it's so wonderful to have paid off my mortgage. What a smart move. I mean, I could have gone on vacation with that money, but, in these years of my life, I'm much more the adult than I was a few years ago. It's just like, do it. Who cares? It's only money. Right now, it's more than money. It's hunkering down, creating a security that's going to get you through the hard times. And hopefully the people be able to help people that you love or people in your community that aren't as well off as you. So to wrap this up, because it's mostly stuff you keep hearing, but I wanted you to hear from me. If you can, get a roommate. If you're paycheck to paycheck that can't save money, so you're looking at me saying, what does she talk about? I don't even have enough money to buy a beer. Consider getting a roommate, consider getting a second gig, whatever it's going to take for you to get out from that cycle and start paying down your debt. Above all, you do not want debt in a depression. It could be a roommate, if that's an option. It could be a second job. It could be an online gig. Lots of people are making a lot of money online. You've got to have the fortitude and moxie to keep making content, but it's a possibility. And get your thinking caps on. But please, please, please consider how it is becoming urgent now. Urgent. You must have food on hand. You need water on hand. You need dog and cat food. You need food supplies, I think, for a year personally. But some people will laugh at that. If you can store food, do it. Store it right. I've been talking a lot about how to do that, and there are plenty of channels that show, prepping channels that show you how to use Mylar bags and dehydration, all this good stuff. I've been doing it all. Don't do the I'm going to ring up my credit cards because Nasara is going to save me scenario. That is a very, very foolish way of looking at a solution to a problem. And remember that, like I have a friend, she's done that, and now she's going to probably have to declare bankruptcy. And it's like, that is not a solution, because you won't be able to rent a house, you won't be able to get a mortgage or a loan, or at least not for a long time. So please consider these thoughts. Get on top of it now while there's still time, and pool resources with family and loved ones to create your fortress. Okay, guys, these are my thoughts. Take from them, glean from them what serves you, and know that I have your best interest at heart. This is Patricia Cori signing out for now. You take care.